Hi everyone and welcome back to Newegg TV. My name is Paul and today we have a special guest in our studio. This is JJ, and JJ, thanks again for stopping by today.
Thanks for having me.
What JJ has brought by is a bunch of hardware and we've been testing around and playing with it. This is specifically the P8Z77-V Premium Motherboard, the Z77 chipset, an Intel Core i7-3770K processor, and we've been testing out some various things such as Thunderbolt. And some questions come to mind when you're dealing with this configuration. Specifically, for instance, we have an integrated GPU in our processor as part of our 3770K. Yes. We also have a discrete GPU right here. We also have a variety of video connectors at the back of our system. So we have video outs coming from the video card, we have some video outs coming from the motherboard, and we have sort of a dual-use video out in the mini DisplayPort connector, which is also our Thunderbolt connector, which you've been demonstrating routing through all of these add-on Lucid external hard drives, and then also onto the monitor to give a display there. Yes. So, all that being said, we also have some software, the Lucid Virtu MVP software, which can help us to transfer back and forth between making use of some of the features of the integrated GPU as well. I'm sorry, integrated GPU on the 3770K as well as the discrete GPU from the 680 that we have installed. Correct, yeah. That said, how can we make sense of all this?
Well, I think the big thing that essentially we want to be able to help communicate at the end of the day is that via our implementation of the Lucid MVP software, along with the physical implementation in terms of the Thunderbolt connectivity, that we can still have an ecosystem that is beneficial to not just, let's say, content creation or, professional hobbyists that are into, audio, video, and photography, but also even to enthusiasts that are interested in gaming. Of course, being gamers, while you got great entry-level graphics performance that's on the iGPU, any serious gamer is going to be utilizing a discrete graphics card for gaming performance. As such, how would you have that system configured even if you wanted to have Thunderbolt still actively connected? And as we can see here, that's what we're really trying to show you, is that we have Thunderbolt connected here, and that's connected to, of course, our multiple disks, and then that's, of course, connected to our panel. And our discrete graphics card that we have installed has nothing connected to it. Essentially, it's in headless operation mode. But we still want to be able to take advantage of this then when we go into a game, right? We don't want to be running off the iGPU. So via the Lucid Virtu MVP software, we essentially can have that installed and set up. We just have to enable the multi-monitor mode support within our UEFI to enable this functionality. But essentially, we can have the discrete card, have all the Thunderbolt connected, and we can have the pass-through working from the discrete card, passing through, talking to the PCI Express and DP link inside the Thunderbolt tunneling controller, and then from there that passes the information over. So from here, if let's say I was to go ahead and launch my Street Fighter benchmark, even though I'm connected to the Thunderbolt Mini DP, which would natively be talking to the iGPU, we're still going to be able to go ahead and take advantage of the discrete GPU and even actually extend the performance, because we're going to use the Lucid MVP functionality of giving us the virtual VSync, so not being locked into the frame rate of our panel, which is only a 60 Hz panel, as well as giving us even improved performance by utilizing some functionality from the iGPU in terms of a frame buffer to extend frame rate, which, as you saw there, it was a really quick initial run of, I think, over 700 frames a second. So we're clearly here in this configuration able to actually utilize the discrete graphics card, but we're also able to go ahead and still have it work through the Thunderbolt implementation.
Now, you're mentioning virtual VSync. Now, a lot of people are familiar with adaptive VSync. Virtual VSync essentially allows you to have VSync no matter what your frame rate is?
Well, there's a lot of complex elements to it, but essentially one of the big benefits of it is that unlike standard VSync, it's not going to be linked at having your actual vertical sync refresh rate, because with VSync, if you go below the 60 frames, let's say, that your panel might have, it's going to have it down to 30 frames a second. Under the virtual VSync, that you're not going to have that limitation. Essentially, it's going to be able to provide you the same peak throughput in terms of the refresh rate that you would normally have if you had VSync disabled, but while still maintaining the benefit of having no tearing, which is why you want to have VSync enabled. So you kind of get the best of both worlds with having this virtual VSync technology, as well as the high performance, where in some games you can even extend performance. So it's definitely some cool functionality that we have here on the board, but the big thing is we just wanted to be able to show the flexibility that you can still use your discrete graphics card in a Thunderbolt enabled system, even under like a daisy chain configuration. It's very robust, very usable, and the other big part is also performance. And overall, because of the bi-directional functionality of Thunderbolt, we could still even be working in the background to do data transfers while still utilizing the PCI Express bus, and we'd still be solid.
And here is just a great example. There's our score and our average FPS of 502.12 Again, we're using a GTX 680 here as a primary GPU, but it's not plugged in. So you're getting all of the horsepower of the GPU, even though we're plugged into the mini DisplayPort connector, which is also being daisy-chained through all of the external hard drives.
Exactly. So
Very nice.
Good to go.
All right, guys, that wraps it up for this quick video. Again, we have some more videos with JJ available on our Newegg YouTube channel, so you can head over there to check it out. You can also see more of JJ's videos over on the ASUS ROG YouTube channel. I'm Paul with Newegg TV. This has been JJ from ASUS. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.